And our next speaker, his nickname is the most censored man in Canada, the most muzzled man in Canada. But he has truth. So, without further ado, we need to speak to Kevin J. Johnson. Give it up.
I don't know if anybody heard, but in Toronto yesterday, a man jumped out of an airplane. His parachute did not open. He speared himself on the top of the CN Tower. Cause of death, COVID-19. All right? How many people believe this stuff is real? Come on. You notice how nobody dies of the flu anymore? No one dies of car accidents anymore? No one's dying of cancer or gunshots anymore? It's what? COVID-19. Why not 2? How about 6? Why not 69? We have none of that. My name is Kevin J. Johnston from freedomreport.ca. Thank you very much for that. Many of you are wondering where I have been. I have been in Supermax prison for daring to criticize the Liberal government and their handling of COVID-19. Yes, it is true. No trial, no conviction. Just a justice of the peace who worked for Peel Region and the city of Mississauga who told me that I'm not allowed to have various opinions and I need to go away for a while. He actually told me I got to go away for 6 months. Thank God all of you and my lawyer, mostly all of you, got me out in 6 weeks. Do you really want to know how dangerous politics have become here? Because I'm willing to tell you if you want the truth. Just say yes. You all know I ran for mayor of Mississauga in 2014, placed 11th. I ran again in 2018, placed 2nd. Why? Because my message is your message. It had nothing to do with me, it was you. I was simply telling the people of Mississauga, not what they wanted to hear, but what we all knew was true. Here's what I believe. The family unit is the most important facet of Canadian life. Mom, Dad, raise your children, love your children. When they screw up, you don't beat them up, you don't insult them, you love them more and teach them what they're doing wrong. You discipline your children properly so that they can function in society properly. The Children's Aid of Ontario says you can't do that. We'd much rather your children end up as criminals because they have no discipline. Then they'll kidnap your children. The Children's Aid Society, they're after me too. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because I discovered what they are. A not-for-profit corporation with no government power. They are not a governing body in this country. They get donations based on how many children they kidnap and keep in their system. I expose this. What happens? They sabotage my car. During the 2018 election versus Bonnie Crombie, who is a member of a brotherhood that I am not allowed to tell you the name of because there's a word in brotherhood that by court order I'm not allowed to say. I am not allowed to talk about 28 individual politicians in this country by court order. I am not allowed to talk about 5 political subjects in Canada by court order. How does this make our country better? How do I feel? I'm angry. I don't want anybody here feeling sorry for me. I don't want your sympathy, I want your anger. Because when we are angry, we're going to act. Now, let me tell you this. You have all probably heard about the fact that there is a people in Myanmar named the Rohingya that are being slaughtered mercilessly by Buddhists. Who believes that? Anyone? I didn't believe it either, so I spoke out against it. And I was sent to Myanmar. I went to the war zone myself, which no Canadian journalist has ever done. I know this. I'm the first one to get a Class V visa in that country. The first. And I was in there. Do you know what the name of the terrorist group is who's causing all the trouble? ARSA, A-R-S-A. It stands for the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army. They have gone into Myanmar and they have slaughtered 55,000 Buddhists and 25,000 Hindus. Do you know who pays for them? We do! Canada does! Bob Ray got $300 million sent to the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army so they can kill our allies.
Murder! Murder!
I was there. I saw the dead children. I came back with PTSD. I still can't talk about it without tearing up. Why? Because I had to see a 4-year-old boy with his face cut in half by a sword that this government paid for. That's why I am making a documentary about this, but it's not done yet, and it's already been banned in this country. Now what does that say about the state of affairs of a supposed democratic nation? What does it say? Are you angry yet?
Yes! I am angry! And now you bring now!
I need you angry. Canada needs you angry. You need you angry. These stories have to get out. They're going to continue to try to put me in prison. They've put me in the court system 142 times in the last 3 years. Why? To try to bankrupt me, to try to silence me, to frighten me. Well, if that didn't work, and if 6 weeks in Supermax prison with a cellmate who was there for murdering 3 Hells Angels didn't work, what do you think is going to work? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Bonnie Crombie in the city of Mississauga placed first in Mississauga by rigging the election and by paying Antifa to assault me. I have the medical records to back up everything I'm saying. They knocked me off of a ladder when I was putting up signs. That's right. And when I landed after an 8-foot fall, I ripped my ACL in my right knee and my MCL. Both have been replaced using tendons from my right leg. Now you can see, hey, I've rehabbed myself. I work hard on things. But it didn't stop there. She hired them to sabotage my vehicles, to steal our video cameras. Then she sent Mississauga bylaw out to steal my signs. Then she wins the election. The definition of a loser is someone who does not know when they have won. Okay, so she won. There are 55,000 votes missing in that city. She shut down more than 5 voting stations during that day. She still won, good for her. But a year later, she decides to send her bylaw officers out to cut me $74,000 in fines for my mayor elections being out there. Well, I decided to play her game. I decided to get them into court, and I got to question her bylaw officers who admitted under oath and on the stand that Bonnie Crombie told them to steal my signs. Well, what happened in that court hearing? Well, guess what? The courthouse is owned by the city of Mississauga. Within the city of Mississauga, the lawyer was paid for by the city of Mississauga for $600 an hour. And on top of all of that, so was the justice of the peace. He was paid by the city of Mississauga. He ruled in the city's favor. If I don't pay $74,000, she's going to take my driver's license from me. This is how filthy politics are in your country. And I would never have known any of this had I not chosen to become an independent journalist and run in our elections. I went to Calgary to see what was going on there. A friend of mine was crying on the phone. I had to console a man who was 50 years of age, crying because he couldn't feed his family. I went to Calgary and interviewed over 100 people. With the exception of 2, nobody was working. Unemployment there is 25%. Why? Because we have a guy who won his seat in office simply because he said, if you don't vote for me, because I'm not white, you're racist. And we have to stop falling for that stupid game. Why do white people feel so guilty? About what? Sir, you're not white. Why do we feel guilty? Should we? There you go.
No.
He doesn't know. Stop feeling guilty. Period. Naheed Nenshi has taken Calgary from a once prosperous city to a dead zone. 25% unemployment. Why? Because he thinks like a liberal and he's funded by the liberals. Why? Well, I guess free money entices anyone to become a criminal, and that's exactly what he is as far as I'm concerned. It's our money. You're right, it's our money. It's your money, it's your money, it's all of our money. It's not theirs, it's ours. And like Maxime Bernier just said, now Justin Trudeau, to buy votes from foreigners who are not white, he is printing money that's backed by nothing. Well, that didn't work so well for the Germans in World War I. Their dollar, their Deutschmark became worth what? 1 1/16 of a penny of US currency. There are photographs of German children after World War I building forts with piles of money from the bank reserves there. It was worthless. Right now in Venezuela, their currency is positively worthless. Children are throwing it into swimming pools because they can't afford the water, and they're swimming in money that has no value. And when your currency has no value, what happens then? You have no buying power. You cannot buy food. The Venezuelans cannot buy food. They have no food. They have eaten all of their pets because they are starving. There are no more dogs and cats in that country. They have been consumed. There is cannibalism in that country. I feel terrible for Venezuelans. I don't blame them. I blame socialism, I blame communism, and I blame printing of money to buy votes from people that don't deserve to be here in the first place. Thank you. I'm going to keep speaking my truth. It's not going to stop. I know the government out there has been spending a fortune on transcribing every single video that I've ever put on YouTube and BitChute and Facebook, Twitter, Gab, all of them. It's embarrassing to know that our Peel Regional Courthouse and Bonnie Crombie's administration in Mississauga have spent more than $2 million just transcribing what I say on YouTube. Your money is being spent to make me look bad by Bonnie Crombie, who's embarrassed about the fact, yes, and also by far left extremist Crown attorneys who have turned the Peel Courthouse, the Peel District Courthouse, a massive one, into a place that you get off if you are on the left and you go to jail if you are on the right. They call it no deal Peel for a reason. That's where your tax dollars are going. Your government is using your money to keep you down, period. I can back everything I'm saying, and you all know that. Everyone who knows me knows I can back everything I say. I don't make things up. I have a difficult time believing it's gotten this bad. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. This was the best country on earth, especially in the 80s. Who remembers big hair and spandex bike shorts, nightclubs? Did anybody talk about race and color and religion back then? No one cared. We were rich back then. We were happy. The only ones who talk about race is Justin Trudeau and his liberals. It's not us. That's exactly what it is. Divide us. Make us fight each other and then take over, take our money, give us nothing in return, put us in jail when we disagree. I'm proof. And believe me when I say this, everybody, Supermax prison in Ontario sucks. It is, the violations, the human rights violations are unbelievable. We only received 1,100 calories a day. I weigh 210, look at this. Do you think I can live on just 1,100? I lost 35 pounds in there. My doctor put me on a high-calorie shake program to get my weight back up when I got out. That was just 6 weeks, 35 pounds. We were getting less than 4 grams of protein a day. I required 200. You require 1 gram per pound. That's how it works. And the protein, I don't think it was really protein because I think the milk they gave us was powdered milk. There's no protein in that, okay? You don't want to be there. They did not give us toilet paper for 10 days. I had to decide between putting bed sheets on to stay warm or wiping my ass. I'm a clean guy. I chose the latter. 10 days. They put me in a jail cell with a guy who was there who admitted to murdering 3 members of the Hells Angels. That's not the kind of guy that I wanted to be in a room with. You see, I have never sucker punched anybody. I've never stolen anything. The government knows this, by the way. They've looked into me. I don't drink. I don't smoke. My last speeding ticket was 1993 when I was, 24 years of age, trying to impress some chick who turned me down. That's the last time. They have nothing on me. It didn't turn out well at all. She called me a loser. It didn't work. That's okay, she's on Facebook now. She's not. Okay, so. But she's very nice. All right, everybody, listen up. We don't have very many strong men left in positions of power, or strong men who want to be in positions of power. We're lucky. We had a taste of it this year. We had Maxime Bernier. Come on, that's masculine. That's masculine. Put together a whole party and put somebody in every riding in less than 8 months. Never been done before. The man deserves a medal for that, and I salute him for it. Of course I voted for him. Can anybody else think of a we'll call it hyper-masculine man who actually cares about this country, in power in this country right now? Hands up. Anyone?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. There you go. And that, we need one now. I have been accused of being two things. Number one is the Canadian Alex Jones. That is not an insult. Although I don't talk about aliens. All right, I don't talk about frogs being gay. I couldn't care less about that stuff. All right, the other one is I've been accused of being the Canadian Trump, and that's a compliment in every way imaginable. I have decided, because I am a hyper-masculine man who loves family values, who loves to treat every single human being with dignity and respect, who wants to see every Canadian working, who would like to see the unemployment rate back down below 3% where it belongs. I've made a very big life decision. I am leaving the Greater Toronto Area. I am. You got the sign ready, buddy? You know where I'm going, everyone? I'm going to run for mayor of Calgary against Naheed Nenshi. Everyone, take that picture. You make sure every Liberal sees this. You make sure Naheed Nenshi sees this. Let me tell you what I know about him on a personal level. I almost met him. Rick Boswick, where is he? Rick, put your hand up. Our amazing Rick Boswick from Ottawa here. I went in with him and the incredible Sandra Solomon just to see if we could talk to Naheed Nenshi. He was in his office. We saw him through the glass door. I asked his staff, could I talk to the mayor for a second? I've got my little press badge here. He sees me. He runs into his office. He closes the wooden door. His staff lie to me and say, he's indisposed, he's not available, but you can call his office switchboard right now. I said, that empty desk right there, is that his personal secretary? Yes, I phoned them. This is all on BitChute, by the way. Go to my name, kevinjjohnston.com. It's there. You can see it. We put him on speakerphone. We called his secretary. What did we get? We got a voicemail saying that he was not in the office. The office was closed. We're helping other customers like you. Of course, he wasn't going to come out and talk to us. What do you think is going to happen when he and I are on the same platform debating? You think he's going to win? Or do you think he's going to lose? Let's send him packing. The last thing I want to say is this. We have all been bombarded by a very big lie for the longest time. Diversity is strength. What a load of crap. There's no other bigger lie that I can think of in this country, and there's no other mistruth that I have ever heard. Diversity is not strength. It divides us. It separates us. It tells everyone that they can be part of their own clique and their own tribe. Unity is strength. I want all you Canadians to know that we have power, that they actually are afraid of us. When the Crown attorneys whined about putting me in jail, they were afraid. They feel fear. This is what they fear the most, because now they know we've got truth, they have lies, we can defeat them with it. What I'm asking everyone to do right now, please ignore COVID, get closer together. We're Canadians, we're a big family, come on. Put your arms around each other. Let's do that now. These are your countrymen. These are your countrymen. These are your countrywomen. These are your brothers. These are your sisters. Together, as a unified force, we can guarantee that the true North remains now and forever strong and free. I love you all. I'll see you soon. I promise.